Corec Championship off and running here as our last game of the night between the Rotator Cups and the Walk-It-Offs, as we just saw a long out, and now we see a shorter out, and it's quickly 2 outs as the Walk-It-Offs are the away team batting first. The Rotator Cuffs, the home team. Rotator Cuffs have not lost a game in Corec softball in 2 years, looking to finish their intramural careers undefeated, and that's a great way to start. 1, 2, 3 fly balls into gloves, and that is the end of that half inning. They started off. Get up to bat when you come back. Bottom of the first inning for the Rotator Cups up to bat. We talked about in the last couple of games how we haven't seen any home runs. We think that's going to change in this game. We got a couple of home run hitters for both teams, as actually that first batter almost connected on one to left field, but just a couple of yards short. Pitch swung on and hit, and the first batter gets on for the Rotator Cups. It's a base hit to right field, and they're off to a good start with the first hit of the ball game. We have the entire PT crowd, staff, teams here. Both classes have brought a good contingency to the game, as they didn't play in the regular season, first year versus second years. Usually they'll play, but I guess both knew they were going to make it to the championship. And here they are as Annie flies out on that first pitch, and that is out number 1 for the Rotator Cups. Between these two teams, only 1 loss accumulated through the intramural season. And like we said, the Rotator Cups have been undefeated for 2 years as that ball is swung upon. Shallow hit to the center field, and that ball is down. Runners get aggressive, move to third, and he's going to turn the corner, and it's going to pay off for him, as that's going to be the first run of the game. Runner ends up at third base, batter ends up at third base, so great piece of hitting, turning that shallow hit into a run-scoring triple, and that aggressive base running gives them their early 1-0 lead as they look for more. Pitch hit to the second baseman. Harley throws a little high, and that ball is out of reach for the first baseman, and another run for the Rotator Cups. This Q comes around and scores. So the score is now 2-0. Bracken steps in, hits a ball smoked to left field. That'll get down in front of the left fielder for a base hit. And this is how they've been beating teams for 2 years. Just the ability to put the ball in play, make good, smart base running decisions, and being solid on defense. Runners on first and second as that ball comes in as strike number 2. Remember, they start with a 1-1 count. Ball put into play, should be out number 2. Should have been an infield fly. 2 outs as the ball is swung and sent into a tough play for the outfielders. They can't get under it and make it. A run will score. Let's see if he gets aggressive and turns the corner. Does not, but that is another base hit that finds empty grass, and a 3-0 start for the Rotator Cups. Lincoln steps in, looking to add more runs to the total. Hits a grounder back to the pitcher and on the first base for the 3rd out of the inning. They strand 2, but get 3 in the bottom of the 1st. Off to a great start. Rotator Cups lead 3-0. Second inning underway as the first pitch swinging leads to a fly ball out for the walk-it-offs. Good communication in the outfield with 3 Rotator Cups defenders in the area. As the pitch comes in, swung on and lifted. That's going to be a nice base hit to get them going. One thing about the Rotator Cups is, they're going to score runs. It's just, how many are you going to score? How many does it take to hang in the game with them? So always got to have productive at-bats as Harley steps in. He swings at it, sends it to the shortstop. Shortstop grabs it on the second, tries to make the play at first, but Harley got 2 good wheels, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning. So a nice fielding play on the dirt, able to get that ball to second base with no chance to get Harley at first. But 2 outs. Swing and popped up to the catcher, and she makes the play, and that'll end the top of the 2nd. So great defense all around for the Rotator Cups. Bottom of the 2nd inning, as great defense shown by the Rotator Cups in the first 2 gives them a 3-0 lead as they look to build upon it. The pitch comes in at the top of the strike zone. 1-2 count. Pitch swung upon, sent to the 3rd baseman, goes under the glove. Shortstop tries to make the play, can't. And a nice base hit. Good wheels. Very athletic, this Rotator Cups team. Able to really put the pressure on the fielders to get the ball into the first baseman as quickly as they can. Usually leads to errors and missed throws. So got to be clean fielding the ball. As the catcher, who made a great catch to end the 2nd inning, top half of it, steps into the box, throw to second, are a little bit off the bag and missed the tag. And so now runners at first and second as Abby gets on with the base hit, or we're going to call that a fielder's decision, actually. As that ball is lifted to left field, should be the first out of the inning, and it is. And we're back to the top of the lineup. Annie steps in. Pitch down the heart of the strike zone and sent back up the middle, and a big turn made again. Play at the plate, ball low off line, and another runner. Base runners stay aggressive and make their ways to second and third. And so they are turning some solid base hits into more than just singles as they add another run to their lead. And the walk-it-offs have to be careful here and stay in this game. Can't let the Rotator Cups run off, as that's a ground ball to Haley at second base. He gets the out at first, but they exchange it for a run, and so it's 5-0. Two outs, 5-0. So 3 runs in the first inning, 2 runs so far in the second inning as that ball is lifted to the third baseman for the final out of the inning. They add to their lead by getting 2 more runs. It's 5-0 heading to the top of the third. Top of the third inning, and the walk-it-offs need to get something going here because it doesn't look like the offense is going to stop anytime soon for the Rotator Cups. And it's PT versus PT Corec final. Hit to the shortstop, Noah. Noah makes the play at first, and that is 1 away to start the third inning. Talk about the second-class PT roster and team. It's a team that has been in multiple championships as that ball is inside. They were in the flag football championship as that ball is going to be looped and past the second baseman's glove for a base hit. It's a team that was in the basketball championship, and now they find themselves in the softball championship. A great run for this second-year PT team who we're not expecting them to come back. Usually PT students don't play in their third year, as that play is made by Annie in left field. Great job to run that down, showing an athleticism. So you're talking about people in their third year that have got more kind of serious classes and rotations and real-life situations to deal with. So this is probably their swan song, their finale, and they want to go out with another championship shirt. More importantly, an undefeated streak at intramural softball as Bracken tries to make that play, spinning in a circle, unable to make it, and a break for the walk-it-offs, excuse me. And now they're in business with runners at second and third in scoring position. That was a tough play. Ball kind of hit his glove, then lost it. And by the time he found it, he was kind of spinning and could never center himself to make that throw to first. Just a lucky break. Let's see if the walk-it-offs can cash in. The ball's inside. Marley almost takes it to the shin, but she's tough and hangs in. As the ball's popped up, and Noah's able to handle it easily. And that is the end of the top of the third. I want to give a special shout out to our 3 umpires refereeing this championship game. Michael Archie at first base, Cadence Romero at third base, and home plate umpire Marley Connor at home plate umpire, excuse me. Congrats to Marley, actually just got promoted to being a supervisor, so congrats to Marley. Bottom of the third, Q steps in. Pitch swung on and hit up the middle, and another great start to the inning as the aggressiveness turns the corner, doesn't even think about it, and in the second easily. Just was always going to make that a double. Never even thought about stopping at first. Who needs a first base coach? Ball swung on and lifted. Maybe a spot, and it is. Clean grass in the outfield. Another play at second could be coming up, but no, he's all the way around, and another run added on to the Rotator Cup. 6-0 start. Still no outs. Got to stay away from the big inning if you're the walk-it-off. Start trying to get outs as that ball is lifted to left field. It is tracking to be just short of the fence. Runner tags up from second base. And the first out of the inning is a long, booming fly ball that just needed about 5 to 10 more feet, maybe some wind to kind of get it to get over that yellow fence. As that ball is right down the middle for strike 2. Good job by the pitcher trying to settle his team down. Pitch swung on, lifted, could be, it is, fair ball. And a nice swing, just the consistency of good quality at-bats. Just not a lot of weak spots in this lineup for the Rotator Cups. As the score is now 7-0. Ball swung on and lifted high to the center fielder. And that ball is caught. The runner is off of first base and is gunned down. And that is how the inning ends. So a base running mistake, a rare one by the Rotator Cubs, ends that inning, but they get more runs added to their lead. They're up 7-0. Top of the fourth as that ball is dribbled out in front of the pitcher. That ball was in fair territory, so a good job of really kind of getting to that ball and making the play, because it looked like the ball was going to kick foul, but just stayed fair. And so one out as that ball is dribbled back to Bracken as the pitcher, and that's 2 outs now. So Bracken getting his plays out the way, it seems like, making those solid throws at first base. And so 2 outs. And it's going to be hard if they don't get anything in this inning, because you're heading towards run rule territory. It's 10 after 4, so it could be that if the Rotator Cubs have a big inning in the bottom half, they can end this game and end this championship game right here, as a hit finally comes through for the walk-it-offs. These two teams have met in other sports earlier on in the school year, as this ball's gonna be the 3rd out. So Bracken gets all 3 outs, pitcher, the first base combination. We'll talk to you more about those matchups when you come back. It's 7-0. That in the middle entertainment brought to you by India behind the camera. Swing and a big miss. India Lee, excuse me, who is a softball champion, won a softball championship earlier this afternoon. That ball is dribbled to the, oh goodness, to the shortstop, and the out is recorded. If the Rotator Cubs add 3 more runs and get to 10, this game is actually going to be over because of the run rule. So don't know if that's incentive for them, but they have really come out and jumped on the walk-it-offs so far in this game. Snow steps in. Swing and a nicely hit ball at the top of the strike zone. And the walk-it-offs do a better job of relaying the ball back to the pitcher, preventing any more bleeding. As Annie steps back in. She had a good hit last time she was up. As that ball is hit to the left fielder, who handles it, and that is the 2nd out of the inning. Good hit. Just hit it a little too direct to the left fielder. So 2 outs, a better defensive inning for the walk-it-offs as they try to get out of this inning unscathed. They're giving up runs in all the innings that they've been in so far. Would be a great way to stay in the game if they can get out of here clean. Noah at first base for the walk-it-offs. As that ball comes in a little high and tight. Crowd begging him to lean into it. Swing and foul back to the PT class sitting behind us. You know, if somebody gets hurt, we've got the right people out here. They should be able to take care of business and handle it pretty well. we were talking about the PT versus PT matchups throughout the school year. They met in flag football in a very close game. I believe it went to overtime in the regular season. Very aggressive, as I would describe it, as that ball gets hit to the shortstop and to second base. Harley gets the last out of the inning. I promise you, we'll talk more about those matchups at the first pitch is a ball as we are in the top of the fifth inning. As that pitch is drilled but caught. Well hit ball, just good defense hitting it right to the defenders. You have games like that sometimes where it feels like they've got 12 or 13 defenders out there. But they only have 10, and they are all well skilled and athletic and able to really take away any ball hit that is lifted. So these two teams also met in soccer, and from what I remember about that soccer game, it was a very intense soccer game. And I believe the first year class won that soccer game, but there were some yellow cards in that game, as that is the second out of the inning. And these teams met again in basketball as well, and that went to the second year PT team. Was a playoff game, and they knocked the first years out of that playoff game as that ball comes in for a strike. So a history of matchups that have favored the upper class more than the first class, as that ball is swung hard and hit into the gap, falling just short of the left fielder. So a 2-out hit. But the good news is that the first years become the upperclassmen next year. So who knows what PT class they'll be facing off against next year. Ball a little inside, 2-1 count. Pitch comes in and lifted in the infield, and the shortstop moves under it and records the last out of the inning. Bottom of the fifth inning, Rotator Cups can end this game with 3 runs here if they want. As Nishana wants me to break my neck by telling me to try his scooter. Seems dangerous. She says it's not that dangerous. Oh, I'm not responsible, so there goes that. I'll keep it with 4 wheels as the ball falls short for ball 1 or ball 2. 1-1 count. You know, we always talk at the staff how it feels. We're in the end of these seasons. We feel like they go on forever. I feel like we've been in softball and beach volleyball season for 3 months. As the ball's outside for ball 3, I'm getting head nods agreeing. But the truth is, it's only been a month and a half. And so I think the seasons and the times that the seasons last, they end at a good time as that ball's going to be flown out for the first out of the inning and back to the top of the lineup. Usually our intramural seasons last about, in real time, a month and a half. We throw in some holidays and some school dates. They usually last a month and a half as the ball smoke through the second base hole. But I can remember in basketball season saying the same thing. Man, I wish we get to softball and beach. For me, I just want to get to summer. So everybody enjoy your summer. Thank you for playing all year long, and we'll see you in August for Color Rush Dodgeball. Ball swung upon, sent to the shortstop, could be 2. First out at second, Harley tries to throw it but can't get it out of her glove. So 2 out on that. So the scoring had stopped for the Rotator Cups. Unfortunately, the walk-it-ons are still holding a 0 next to their name. And that's really been the difference in this game. Only 2 more innings to try to get something on the board. But against this tough defensive team, it's going to be hard. Q steps in. His speed has really been the difference since he's been on the base path, been able to turn singles into doubles and triples, even coming around on some pitches, as that ball is going to fall short of the center fielder and a base hit. So another quality at bat, and they've got 2 runners on and are threatening to add some more runs, to their total. But in case we don't get a chance to say it, I want to thank everybody that played this year. It's been a great season. We were up, as the ball is up and flies out. We were up 13% in our sports, and so thanks to all the participants and whatnot. Top of the 6th we go. Score still 7-0. As that ball is a fly out to begin the inning. Want to just get a shot of the crowd, show the support of the PT students here as India is thinking of creative ways to do it. There we go. It's amazing how they support each other. I want to just get them to wave at the camera. There's a nice wave. Having a good time on a Sunday afternoon, taking a break from classes. All right. As that ball is hit to the shortstop, delivered for the second out of the inning. Yeah, they do a good job of supporting each other. And intramurals is a good way for them to kind of take a break from their stressful classes and have a good time. And they sign up for every sport we do, so we're thankful for them and glad that they participate in our program, despite the many competitive arguments they may have with the staff. But it's all love. 2 outs. The walk-it-offs down to the last 4 outs. We thought this game could be a potential mercy rule, but they've hung in there, and there's a base hit. So they get going again with 2 outs, getting a lot of 2 outs, empty bases, base hits. Just unable to really put anything together and connect them. As Harley steps in. Saw a great interview with her on our Instagram, USA_South Sports, last week after they won their semifinal game. As that ball is popped in the air, tough play, but made. Noah does a good job of finding that ball and making that catch to get the third out of the inning. Ball crushed into right field where the fielder comes under it and makes the first out of the inning, just a long out. So we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-0. So we can get through these 2 outs. We will see the top of the 7th where the walk-it-offs will have to score a lot of runs to get back in the game. Got to get that first run first. Don't want to get shut out here in a championship game. It speaks just the quality of the Rotator Cubs as a team. Talking about a team undefeated, like we've said, but a team that is just making it look pretty easy as that ball gets grounded back to the pitcher for the second out of the inning. Make it look pretty easy, shutting out their counterparts in PT. Really had not an easy run to the championship game, but nothing really scary as that ball is caught in center field, and the Rotator Cubs will take the field with 3 outs left to preserve another intramural championship. Last chance for the walk-it-offs. Got to get 1 before they can get to the other 7 as that pitch comes in inside.